about red lipstick. I pick it up and then I immediately forget how my hands work. Hi there, I'm Olivia. Thanks so much for joining me. And today we're going to be doing an eyeshadow look based on Pixar, specifically the little Luxo Ball that always shows up in all of the movies. If you didn't know from all of my Disney-inspired makeup looks and my prized Edna Mode bag behind me, I am a massive Disney fan, and tonight we're actually going to see Toy Story 4. So I thought it was only appropriate to do a look based off of the movie. So the main colors that we'll be working with, of course, are going to be red, yellow, and blue. So I was looking at pictures of the ball just to kind of remind myself, and it's got like yellow and blue on it with a red star. So what I'm thinking is, I don't really have much in the way of like red eyeshadows or eyeliners, anything like that. I do have this kind of rusty color though from Colourpop. It's their Super Shock Shadow in the shade Melrose, and I think that what I can do with this one is use it as a liner. So it's not quite the vibrant red that you see on the actual ball, but I think that for a look inspired by it, that this can do the trick. And I can always try going over it with a little bit brighter red shadow if I feel like I need it. So the palettes that I think I'm going to be primarily working with today are my Yes Please. I've got a nice yellow in here, as well as it's not super bright, but there is a red that I could go over top that Super Shock Shadow with if I wanted to. And then there's a really nice bright yellow in my Zulu palette as well. So I'll be using those palettes. And then I think to incorporate the blue, I do have this kind of bright teal. It's not quite the shade that's on the ball, but I do think it's a lot of fun, and I would like to incorporate that if possible. And I'll pull in some blue from other places too. I do have my Colourpop Lumen palette, so obviously there's a lot of choices in here. I just want to make sure I have a really good base to set things down with. So I'm going to grab my MAC paint pot. This is in the shade Soft Ochre. And then to set that down, I'm just going to grab this light shade in the Yes Please palette. We have like a double primer situation here. We are locked down. This is Fort Knox. No shadows are getting out. So I'd like to start building that yellow up. So I'm going to go into the yellow that's in my Yes Please palette first. This one is a little bit softer than the one that's in the Zulu palette, and so I want to build that up definitely in the crease and a little bit on the lid too. Okay, and then I'm going to dip into that really bright yellow that's in my Zulu palette and put that in the center of the lid. Okay, and then next I'm going to grab this gold shade that's in my Yes Please palette, just get it on my finger, and I want to tap that into the inner like third maybe of my lid. Cool beans. So now I want to grab that Super Shock Shadow. This was in the shade Melrose. So obviously this is more of a rust than a true red, but I think it'll get us the effect I'm looking for. And if not, it'll give us a different effect that will become what I'm looking for, because it'll be what I have. So now I'm going to jump back into my Yes Please palette, and I want to grab this. First I'm going to shove my brush into the gold shade, and then I'm going to dip into this red shadow. I'll just use that same liner brush, and I want to go over the top of that Super Shock Shadow that we put down, just to see if I can brighten it up a little bit. That's working pretty well. I was worried because I don't have like a really good true red. All of the reds that I have are darker and kind of rusty, which is because that's what I typically like. But for a look like this, this is actually working pretty good. You know what I'm kind of tempted to do? Because it's a star that's on the ball, I kind of want to draw, not like a full star, but just do like another point. So it's kind of like a double wing. Oh, but what if then I mess it up and hate it? That is something to consider. But let's try it. It's makeup, it's meant to be fun. Okay, so I like the effect that has. I think it's kind of a fun reference to the star without literally being like a star. So now what I want to do is just do some blue along the lower lash line. So I'm going to use my Blue Moon palette, and I think, let's see here, I'll grab this shade Tide Pool for most of my lower lash line, and then I'm going to use a little bit of that kind of teal shade from the Zulu palette just along the inner part. And I think to make it last a little bit better, I'll put down a blue eyeliner first. So I have this NYC one, it's like a eyeshadow crayon kind of a thing. So I'm just gonna run that along the bottom lash line. And then I think that that'll help the shadow to last a little bit longer. And then I'm gonna grab this kind of baby blue shade Moonlight and just run that along the whole bottom to just kind of make everything flow together. Okay, and then I'm just gonna take what's left on here. I don't know if this will look weird, but I'm just gonna kind of run it along the bottom lash line so that it meets up with that red wing a little bit. Okay, cool. So I like that for the shadow. Now I'm just gonna add some mascara. So first I'm gonna use my L'Oreal Voluminous primer. Just slap some of that on. Of course, by slap, I mean carefully place it so as not to get it all over your lid, which the odds of me doing anyway are pretty high. The fact that this primer is white is making me painfully aware of how much shadow and other junk I get into my mascara, and then put it back into the tube. And then while we're letting that dry on the lower lash line, I'm gonna use my blue mascara here. This is also the L'Oreal Voluminous, and I'm gonna use this for the lower lash line. I think that'll be fun. And then I'm gonna use my trusty Stila Huge Extreme Lash Mascara, which if you've been watching for any length of time, I'm sure you saw coming. So here's my final look. I'm super happy with how it turned out. I know I could have made the wing a little bit crisper on each side. I do like how it looks on this side a little bit better, but overall I really like it. And of course, if I had like an actual like red eyeliner, that would have made it way easier, but I think working with what I had, I like the effect. So we've got the red and yellow and the blue. We've got kind of an homage to the star shape with the devil liner there. So overall, I'm super happy with how this looks. I guess the only thing that I should add is maybe a lip. I think I'll do, let's do red. I think red would be fun. Okay, and then I'm gonna grab this, I think this one is L'Oreal too. This one is the Lila's red. I don't know if it's all of them or just the ones with like this kind of soft touch packaging, but I swear they smell exactly like Cabbage Patch Kids. Like if you have any of these lipsticks and you had a Cabbage Patch Kid, let me know. Like, am I crazy or does it smell like a Cabbage Patch doll? I don't know what it is about red lipstick. I pick it up and then I immediately forget how my hands work. Okay, I think that's vaguely the shape of my mouth, so we're good on that. But that's a completed look, so thank you so much for watching today. I hope you had fun. I hope that you also get to enjoy Toy Story 4 very soon, if, like me, you're a Disney fan, or just enjoy fun things. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I see you again soon. Bye!